DSP tries it.
The following announcement has been paid for by the
Pay Me Tons account.
Alright, hello everyone and welcome. I'm going to get started with the pre-stream right now because even though there's not many people on stream, I do want to start, gaming in particular, relatively more quickly than holding off to wait for people to join the stream. Thank you for being here. I am Darkside Phil. Today is Thursday, December 10th, 2015. And it's going to be a fun day. The first stream here is going to be more Fallout 4. And we are into the pretty much the interesting side content of the game. I'm trying to avoid all of the more grinding, repetitive stuff that is pretty much only for leveling. Because at this point, I'm pretty high level in the game. And even though I am coming up against enemies that are pretty challenging, I don't really think that I need to be power leveling or anything at this point, you know what I mean? In addition to that, there are some unique missions, side content that I have not done yet. And the thing is, in every Fallout game this happens, is that it's some pretty well-hidden side content in regards to different areas of the game. And I want to be sure that I don't miss out on any of the interesting stuff. So that's what I've kind of been doing, is using my strategy guide to look through and see what's remaining. And apparently I think there's one major mission I believe that you need to, there's one mission in Good Neighbor, I think. Okay. I think that there is one major mission in regards to a settlement that I haven't even found yet. That's like way off the beaten path of the map. What I'm going to be doing is going through what's listed as major side quests of Fallout 4 in my strategy guide and going through them and hitting them up. So that I can actually go boom, boom, boom. You know, here's the things that I haven't done yet. And make sure that I don't miss anything important or interesting. That's the thing. This game has so much stuff in it, you don't know. Gee, what's the important side content? What's the fun stuff versus what's just the repetitive stuff meant for grinding purposes? And so I want to kind of do the fun stuff. I think, in particular, some of the stuff I haven't done yet. I got to finish the companion quest for Curie. I have to do some stuff with aliens. I never found the alien blaster, and I want to try to find that. I want to see if I can get all the bobbleheads, and I'm very close to getting the bobbleheads. I only have a few left that I actually haven't found yet. So we're going to be going on a little bit of questing for bobbleheads today. Like I said, I think there's one major mission in Good Neighbor, and I think there's one settlement I haven't found yet. And outside of that, I think I've done pretty much all of the side content, except for the missions that are in particular to the factions. But you can't do those until you make a critical decision at the story point that I'm at in the game right now, and I don't want to do that yet. So what I'm thinking is today and the next several sessions of Fallout 4, whether it be another 2-3 sessions or whatever, I'll be focusing on that side content of the game so that I can get through it. And then what we'll start doing as of next week is I'll start maybe exploring the plot, and I'll probably try to pick a faction that I want to keep working for, continue the plot along with that faction and see what happens. And then after I beat the game and see that ending, go back and reload a save, right? Reload a previous save so that I can unlock another new branch of the story with a different faction, play through that, and, those kind of areas. Just keep kind of going around the different factions, because there's 4 of them. And I think I'm thinking probably it's going to take several hours per faction. So you figure over the next 2 weeks up until Christmas time, we should have enough time to do all that stuff. And I think that would be an awesome way to end the game, is wrap it up by seeing all of the 4 major endings with the 4 factions and see how that pans out. And then I certainly can give a thorough review of the game. Of course, most people have already reviewed Fallout 4, which is kind of ridiculous in my opinion, because do you really think that anyone who reviewed Fallout 4 really experienced the entirety of the game, unless they just sat there and played it nonstop for a week straight, which most people did not do? A game like this needs to be played at length before you can actually give it a fair review, at least in my opinion.
Oh, really?
Is from Muchi. And Muchi asks the following. He says, "You often make scathing comments about unprofessional reviewers and how they barely play the games that they review, etc. There's a legit criticism, but why did you review Dark Souls back in the day after only having seen 10% of the game? Even reviewing Battlefield 4 after only playing the multiplayer for a little over an hour could be seen as unprofessional, as you've barely scratched the surface or tried any of the weapons. Shouldn't your legit criticism of the mainstream gaming media be applied to yourself as well. Okay, let me explain. All right. First of all, when I say that reviewers are being unprofessional and they're reviewing something but that they're not playing, all right, I'm talking about someone who sits down, plays a game for an hour or two, says, I don't like this game, and then writes a review. Because that's not professional.
Oh, really?
I've been playing this game now. I've actually just timed it for around 5 to 5.5 hours. And that's, you know what the game's going to be. Like, it's the same shit over and over. You know what's going to happen next? Do one more story mission, then, oh, you got to liberate 10 more provinces in order to unlock the next little snippet of story. And I'm going to be honest with everyone. I don't like it. I think that the game relies far too much on repetitive gameplay and the fact that you think that, oh, the hook of the game is that you can blow shit up and you can use the grappling hook to hook things together. Great. That's not a game. You know, and I think when Just Cause 2 came out, keep in mind, Just Cause 2 was a good 6 years ago, right? That's a different era. That was before sandbox games like this were possible, and the game really was the biggest open world at the time, and people liked it because of that, because it was the biggest open world, and you could explore, and there were Easter eggs, and there was weird, fun stuff in it. This is kind of not the same. This is like, it's 6 years later, you gotta do something to innovate. You know, if they had done something like a jetpack maybe, or some kind of fun new innovation, something that would have advanced the game. They didn't. It really feels like I'm playing Just Cause 2 with, you know, like a flying squirrel fucking wings, and that's about it. It's the same game. It really is. Just slightly improved graphics, you know. It's not very good. And quite honestly, I'm very disappointed. If I had bought this game, I probably would be very angry, because I don't like it. I'll be honest with you, I just don't like it. I don't think it's my cup of tea. Again, 6 years ago, to play a game like this would have been like, wow, jaw-dropping. And now it's just not anymore. You know, it's just not. It's not. It doesn't have that same entertainment factor because we're 6 years later. We've had other open-world games, right, that have better stuff to do. A perfect example just this year, Batman Arkham Knight. Yeah, that was an open-world game. Yeah, it was repetitive, but a lot of the stuff, the Riddler trophies, the combat, the side missions against the supervillains and stuff, always had you doing something different and something fun, and it all worked. It added up. This is just too much of the same thing, man. And even though, yeah, they're okay, they're side missions, but they're just, okay, basic driving. It's not good. Man, I don't know what happened here. For a game that, you know, this long between installments, to come out with a part 3 that's literally the same as part 2, except for minor tweaks here or there, is just unacceptable. The game is not worth a full purchase price at all. I could see if this game was like a super discount. If you really need a game to sink time into, okay, if you want to sink a ton of time into a game, and you really don't want to think too much, this is your game. But if you're looking for story, you're looking for plot development, you're looking for advanced gameplay, you're looking for anything, nothing. This is the game you like have a drink, or you know what I mean, that you're mellowing out and you're just blowing shit up willy-nilly and you're like, mindless silliness. But sorry, quantity of repetitive and just silly gameplay does not equal a good game. There's too many other games this year in particular that were much better than this for me to be continuing on. There's other games I want to play. There's other games I have that I am playing that are way better than this. For me to continue on, I'd feel bad playing this game. I would. So I think this is going to be it, quite honestly. I didn't know how long I was going to play this game. I was thinking I was going to do a full playthrough. People were looking forward to it. And as soon as I started playing this game, people were like, damn, this game's fucking boring. And it seems like that's the consensus amongst kind of gamers. Everyone's saying the game is repetitive and boring. They didn't do anything to innovate. Played it way too safe. Made it too similar to the second game. And no reason to really play it. And I hate to say it, I think they're right. This is a case where I'm actually glad that I received a promotional copy of the game, because I would not want to put any more time into it. And if I had sunk $60 into it, I'd feel invested. Oh man, I financially invested in this game, so now I need to play it more. But honestly, I don't feel like I want to play it again. I don't. There's other stuff that I'm doing that's way more entertaining, better games to play than this. And again, there is an audience for it. I am not that audience. So this is gonna be it for Just Cause 3. It is what it is. I'm not liking it. Sorry. Sayonara game. It's not very good. And sadly, another victim right? Another game that falls victim to a busy hardcore gaming season. If this game had come out during the summer when nothing else was being released for several weeks, then maybe it would have gotten some notoriety. But right now, with all the games that are vying for my time, this one is just not going to get any more of it. It's not worth it. I'd rather get back to, I think of 3 games off the top of my head that I'd rather play right now that I have, and I am playing, rather than this. So that's going to be it for Just Cause 3. That's all she wrote. Thanks everyone who did watch up to this point. I hope you enjoyed it, but that's it. Moving on to bigger and better stuff. So thanks, but this is going to be the conclusion. Sorry about that. If you were hoping for it to continue, it's just not very good. And that is it. Alright? Thanks everyone, and hopefully see ya for better gameplay from Better Games soon. Jumpiness, sometimes there was disconnections. I got booted from a game because I couldn't move. So, lots of issues with playing the game online. The core game itself isn't bad. It's certainly a cool experience to say, okay, you're going to die almost instantly when you get shot, because that's what Rainbow Six has always been about. Here's a problem, though. The game's way too sluggish, meaning you could tell the game is meant to be played with a mouse and keyboard. The game is meant to have jerky reactions so you can shoot quickly and kill your opponents. You can't do that with a gamepad. So, immediately, I can tell you right now, the console versions of the game are probably far inferior to the PC. Because that's what's always been with Rainbow Six. It's been a jumpy shooter where you need to be super precise and super quick to get that shot in and kill, because you're going to kill them so quickly. It's not like Call of Duty where you can absorb 400 bullets. And it's bullshit that a lot of the time as I was playing today, what I was actually trying to do would not happen with the gamepad. Aim at the guy in fire who's directly in front of you. Okay, well, oh no, it aims to the left or right, because it's jumpy and sluggish. Or, I'm sorry, because it's sluggish, not jumpy, is what I meant to say. And it's just not the same experience as playing. You know, I used to play Rainbow Six all the time. Like, I said this on stream earlier. I used to play Rainbow Six during the 90s and the 2000s. I actually used to play it on one of my, the very first LCD monitor I ever owned. I used to play Rainbow Six on it all the time on PC, and a far better experience. This is like a dumbed down version of Rainbow Six. Now, I like the fact that, okay, it's about breaching, you can destroy things, that's cool, but let's face it, the entire game, primarily here, is doing the same fucking thing over and over. You're gonna breach, you're either gonna try to get a hostage or defend a bomb, and that's it. And that's it. Like, there's other, sure, you got Terrorist Hunt, where, as you can see, you play either with other people or by yourself, and you try to kill AI terrorists. By the way, that runs in 30 frames per second, and it's terrible. It's fucking terrible. I played it in the beta. That's why I didn't want to play it today. It's garbage. It doesn't belong in the game. It's just an extra mode they put in there to say there's more content when it's really crap. Situations is basically you doing tutorials. So, all that's in the game is a 5-on-5 multiplayer match. This is the entire game. This game is not worth $60. This game, I would say, at most, if it were fully functional, if the controls were better, would be worth $40. And that's the PC version. I would not buy this on console. Now with all the issues I had today, fuck no, I wouldn't play this on console. This is terrible with all the issues with matchmaking, you know, the controls not working, fucking jumping around, controller locking up and shit, getting kicked from matches, forget it. It's not worth this. It's nowhere near a $60 value, in my opinion, for my session of gameplay here today. So, I really hope no one buys this on Xbox One, at least. I don't know. Obviously, I couldn't attest for PS4, but this is a very inferior game on Xbox One from what I've seen. And, wow. How the mighty have fallen, because at one time, Rainbow Six was this dynamo. It really was. It was this big monster of a franchise. I hate to say it, not anymore. This is like a pretty pathetic excuse, and there's no campaign to even salvage it. At least, if there was a bad online experience, you could be like, oh, there's a campaign. Rainbow Six always has a great campaign. No, they didn't even put one in here. No campaign. So, Rainbow Six Siege on Xbox One is a dud for me. And I, quite honestly, if I had paid for it, would probably want my money back. I'm just saying, it's not very good in regards to the fact that there's so many issues and the game is too limited and there's not enough game modes. It's just bad. And I'm happy that I got this this preview, not really preview, promotional copy, whatever, to play it, because, no. Sorry, I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The game's not very good. And, that's a shame, because I used to like Rainbow Six. Well, that is it. I hope that you at the very least, I hope that these videos give you a little bit of enjoyment, and at least let you see what the game's like on Xbox One, so you can judge whether or not you want to play it. But, for me, this is a no-go. I really have no desire to play it again, so. Alright, that is it. First of all, when I say that reviewers are being unprofessional and they're reviewing something but that they're not playing, all right? I'm talking about someone who sits down, plays a game for an hour or two, says, I don't like this game, and then writes a review. Because that's not professional. In order to do a full review of a game, you do need to play it from start to finish and then give your honest opinion on everything in the game. A lot of the stuff that I'm doing is kind of ongoing playthroughs, and now, you know, I'm jumping into Yakuza 5, which I'll be honest, did I expect a huge viewership for it? No. But I'm at least hoping that it catches some kind of interest because, you know, as you know, with the stuff going on with me and Machinima, I'm currently in a contract negotiation with them. I just had a big discussion with them today about the contract, and we got another, they're redrawing up a new contract, and we're doing all this stuff. And I'm not going to get into the details of it because you really don't need to know that, but, you know, right now is a tentative time for me. It's a really uncertain time. I don't know what's going to happen come 2016. You know, I know for a fact I'm going to be making way less money. That's about all I know. And I really, you know, I appreciate your support of you coming out and checking out the stuff I'm doing, even if it's not the most, oh my god, it's not a hot new release, you know what I mean? He's not playing the new release, because there is no new release at this point. This is it. The new releases are done for 2016, and, you know, right now I'm just doing the ongoing stuff until we hit the year-end series. So I certainly hope that you will check out the stuff that I'm doing daily. You know, I've noticed, obviously, that attendance on streams have really been dwindling, and I don't think that's really a surprise. I think that now that all the new releases are kind of out there and people have attended the, you know, the premiere streams of all the new releases, that now it's kind of like, well, the regulars who are here to just check out my ongoing stuff daily are going to be out on stream, but it's not really going to be that influx of people that we would get normally for new releases and stuff. You know what I mean? Because there is no new releases. So it is what it is. I'm certainly hoping come 2016, you know, when I start new stuff next year, there's new games, and I'm doing the new projects on a new channel and doing way more vlogging. By the way, it's kind of funny because I was thinking just last night, I was like, man, I had this thing that came up. I don't want to go too much into detail about it. This thing that came up, personal thing that came up. I was like, man, I would really like to talk about this publicly and do a vlog about it. And I was like, wow, you know what? This is exactly the kind of thing that come 2016, like I said, I'm going to separate my content. We're going to have lots more vlogging on the vlogging channel where I talk about topics all the time. We're going to have daily gameplay on DSP Gaming, and then we're going to have edited content on the new channel, whatever I end up calling it. And I was like, man, I already got stuff. It's like, I already got stuff kind of queued up and ready, you know, ideas that are popping into my head. I was like, man, this would be a great